What up, Mahari?
What's up, everybody? What's going on? Dang.
What up? What up, Nighttime Mafia?
Camera around. There you go, brother.
Okay. Oh, he had to show the house. See, that's what he's doing. He's showing that he left Flatbush and he got a pool in his backyard. That's what he's telling us. That's what's up. He ain't got no pools in the backyard on the 40th side, right?
You know what I mean?
Salute. All right, man.
Bob.
Let's start this off right. This off right and only right. Tonight we got the Bush baby. Introduce yourself. Top man, introduce yourself first.
All right. Khalil, Mr. Man, you know me, you know my records, you know what I do, you know I be showing up sometimes, and here I am. And I love y'all. Yo, Flatbush, man, y'all raised me. You brought all this out of me. You brought all this through me. And so therefore all I can do is represent it and bring it back to you. Thank you for having us.
Oh, it was a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Next, man, introduce yourself.
Yo, what up? Lee Major trying to get his camera right. I think we got it right now. We good. Straight from Flatbush. What up, Avenue D? Before I even get started, I got to big up my man Fandango. He is watching from Spain. It's 2 in the morning over there, so I got to give that man his respect. Good. We crispy.
Okay.
We crispy. Let's go.
Next man, introduce yourself, brother.
Yo, this is Light. Yeah, Bush babies in the building. Yes, blessed, feeling good. Popeye, yo, long time we supposed to do this, you know?
A long time. And guess what? We're going to take a drink. We're going to smoke. We're going to do what we got to do. And we're going to get some of these stories out about Flatbush and y'all journey in the music business. One of the Flatbush vets that came out in the game. So first things first, what part of Flatbush y'all represent? What part of the Bush y'all represent? I mean, talk.
I was born Ocean Avenue, Bedford Avenue, grew up Bedford Avenue between Albemarle and Tilden. You familiar with Don One Studio? About 4 doors down from there before Don One Studio even came through, right across the street from Africa House. If you know Flatbush, you know what I'm talking about. And then East 38th and Avenue D through the high school days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up. Light. What part of the Bush you grew up at, man?
Yo, I'm adopted.
Where you was adopted from? Where you was adopted from?
Because well, I landed from Jamaica at 16, so you know I was from the Bronx to Manhattan, and then when I met these brothers, I was little brothers, so I was couch surfing with them. That's how you saw me in Flatbush all the time. You know what I mean?
Okay. That's your story. Next man, what part of the Bush you from?
I'm from Ocean Avenue and Glenwood Road, right beyond Brooklyn College.
Okay, you right there.
Right there.
You junction side. You basically junction side.
Junction side, yes. So directly in between the 2 and the 5 and the D and the Q. When it was the D and the Q, now it's like the B and the Q or something like that.
Yeah, right. The B and the Q. Right. It's the B and the Q. You're right. You are correct.
Right. When I was there, all them times from Ditman's days, it was Q.
Okay, we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into the high school days and Ditman's days. I'm gonna let y'all know. You talking to Popeye? I tippy-toe through the whole situation because I want everybody to hear and understand where y'all from and how Flatbush raised y'all and made y'all men, from boys to men. So boom, like he just said, when he met y'all. So that means apparently y'all knew each other first. So how can I say that? How did y'all meet? Because Light basically said he met both of y'all afterwards. So how did y'all two meet before the creation of Bush Babies? How they became the Bush Babies?
I'm gonna let Lee Major tell that story.
Okay,
well, I tell you this. He's going to let me tell that story, but he was the mastermind behind how we all met. It was the brainchild that came from Mr. Man, whereas he was going to City Ass High School.
Yes, and Brooklyn Tech, right?
Right. After Brooklyn Tech, and I was going to Fort Hamilton. So I was going there, he was going there, and then we met up somehow and what'd you say?
Intensities.
Oh, Intensities in Brooklyn. Intensities. Boy, that's on the.
Whoa,
damn, you just put me on
that out there like a flag. Intensity.
Right. Intensities. That was in Brooklyn, I think, like You
with
take the train to the Coney Island.
with
Yeah,
GVM
with Briz.
Bay.
Right, right. So we met there, freestyling back and forth, and then we would go to each other. Like, you know, he'd come to my school and rhyming back and forth. But then we started going to the village and going to the ciphers and going into those pre-lyricist lounge days when we was just all rhyming in Washington Square Park. All of them people that you see, yeah.
Hold
Well,
on,
hey,
hold
Lauren
on.
Hill.
Hold on,
Sorry,
hold
go
on.
ahead.
Like Nori would say, don't you skipping something. Like you said something that I'm gonna catch the attention of. You know what I mean? Nori, shout out to Nori. I respect other journalists too. Ain't
Big
no
up.
dick rider. I respect. But like Nori, you just said something, and you said the village. Nah, I know the village back in the day. There was the funny guy place, right?
That was
Like, you know, a lot of funny guys is there. So
that was across the
as
street.
a
That was on the west side. We
okay,
was in
but
the
as
middle.
a Flatbush dude,
That
how
was
do you
over there.
feel going around these places like that?
Let me
No
tell
disrespect,
you.
no disrespect, but
No,
as a Flatbush youth and a Flatbush man them back then,
Right.
how were
Yeah.
you?
well,
You know what I mean? Because I got stories to tell you about that, but I want to hear yours first.
yeah, absolutely. Well, I tell you, when we was out there, mostly Washington Square Park. You know where they play basketball at?
West
Right there
Fort
by the
Park.
McDonald's.
Yeah, West Fort
Where?
Park.
Well,
West Third Street.
exactly,
Right.
exactly. Where
I used to cut
around
hair
those
out there.
areas, exactly. Well, around that time in those areas, you had cats like the whole Lyricist Lounge crew, Most Def, um,
Top
Lauren
lip,
Hill, Jaffa,
Talib Kweli. I mean, you
punchline.
name it. Exactly.
Line, Black Thought.
A lot of flat. Yep. Everybody used to all go to Washington Square Park and rhyme. If you was good in your, see, it started at if you was good in your neighborhood, you branched
They
out and you went to Washington Square Park. That was the playoffs. That's where all the cats went to really who could MC to do their thing. So we would go out there, and I met him. I met Miss, you know, from me and Mr. Man, we used to go there, and then Mr. Man wound up meeting Light through some talent shows where he was up there and he was killing the talent show and he was winning, and so he stepped to him like, I'm trying to create a group. Was good, and we just all got together. But it was the collective. It was the collective, but really the brain effort of Mr. Man to say, you know what, I want to put this group together. At that time, I was part of a group, which still to this day love, Architects of Poetry.
Okay.
And then I just started moving towards what he was doing and representing Flatbush, and we just started moving, and it was beautiful from there.
So Light.
Oh, with that, big up to Sunset.
Okay. Oh, so all right. Big up to Sunset. So Light. Tell me your experience and tell me how your feeling was coming to join these brothers that was already got their pattern going down with rapping. And you said, now, Mr. Man, I heard you with the chatting. Like, how did you feel about joining that type of team and involving yourself with that? Coming from Jamaica, too. You coming from Jamaica now, you dealing with so-called, you Yankee boys, them Yankee boys, them. You know what I'm saying? So, how did you feel about that?
Well, it was a good thing still for me because yo, are you them I come for?
I could tell. I
Me
could
and
tell
them
you
siren them Popeye. Are you them minding up?
Yo, we have secret location, man. Don't worry, them can't
Alright,
find
me
you.
just
Keep
wanna
on
make sure
time.
you're alright.
I don't. Yeah, I don't.
But just it's like yo for me I just landed like I left Jamaica. I left boarding school in the country in Jamaica, right? So I came to Manhattan to New York, right? And my mom's was living at the time we was living on Gun Hill Road in the Bronx.
Okay.
And then she moved down to Manhattan, you know, and moved me up. So now when I came up, I can't be in Manhattan, brethren. Like, well, I'm in the north, yeah, right? So I found myself in Brooklyn, right? Just finding myself in Brooklyn, because them time, that's where the dance is, that's where church
We're
house
gonna get
is,
there.
that's
We're
where,
gonna get there.
right? So, so, but at the same time, like Lee just said, like, at the same time, yo, progressive youth, you realize, say, all right, especially me coming from Jamaica, you realize, say, all right, a gunman thing round here, so. There's some gunshot that going around here, so.
Facts.
But over there, they making movies and they rapping and they doing all kind of progressive things. So which one you gonna choose? So we know the guys with talent or whatever, either you're gonna play basketball or you rapping or you doing other things, you know what I'm saying? So it was an outlet thing. So I
Okay.
found myself at these little places, you know, I didn't know
Open
anybody.
mic event.
So I can go and show my talent, show some skill and meet people. And I went to this one thing, and like Major said, I won this prize and thing and this money, but I didn't know nobody there. But Mr. Man was there and he saw me,
He was the
and
man.
and
He was the
he
man.
already right. He had this vision to say, yo, we got to put some reggae and hip hop like actually together in a group, like
That's the question I
which
really want to ask. That's the question I really want to ask because Flatbush is so West Indian. So, Mr. Man, for you to step to him, that means you from Flatbush. And so what made you feel that the world would appreciate hip hop and rap blend together? What made you think that?
Wait, the thing is, I wasn't sure what the world was going to think, but I knew that when we do this, they cannot say no. Because when I grew up, everybody's playing Fushnikins, Special Ed, Chub Rock, Brand Nubian.
Flatbush.
You know what I'm saying? Leading the new school. So everybody is Caribbean. And even if they rapping hard, you still could tell. You can still hear that slight twang in their voice, in the way they pronounce a certain word, even Moni Love. You know what I'm saying? So however you cut it, everybody is touching what we know.
Right.
So me kind of
vibe that we grew up off. The vibe that we grew up off.
Come on, you know what it is. It's Shaba, it's Super Cat, Junior Demus, you know what I'm saying? Et cetera, et cetera. So I'm like, yo, you know what's missing? And we used to sit down every time I come from the mosque, we finished making salat, whatever. I come down the block and I'm like, yo, you know what's missing though? You know what's really missing? How about if you had Super Cat in a group like this and then that and the beats is like this? And so in my mind, I knew that's what I wanted to hear.
Okay, so I mean that was a great way of thinking, if I do say so myself.
I appreciate that.
That was a great way of thinking because at those times, and you are right, because when you think about like KRS-One, he came in, I mean, just over, I mean, just over, hey, I mean, just over,
it's right
over. You had Smith and Wesson with the reggae tool, you had Mad Lion, like everybody had the little coach in it. You know what I mean? The little vibe, like you said, from
the thing about that is even KRS-One, the thing people didn't realize about Chris is he is a Trinidadian.
Okay.
His stepfather's Jamaican.
Lord Claude.
How about that? So but my moms and my pops are also, my mother's from Trinidad.
Okay.
My father's from the Bahamas, but I'm from Brooklyn. I'm from Flatbush.
Okay. Before we go deep into y'all music, I want to ask a little bit more questions about Flatbush.
Sure.
Before we go deep, all right? And since y'all talking about it, and Light said that also about, the sound, the play. Okay, now, we're going to talk Flatbush for a quick minute. I mean, I'm going to throw some Flatbush shit out there, and I want to hear y'all respond.
Nothing about George's or my cousin's place, please.
All right, cool. Boom. This how we gonna do it. What do you say?
Nothing about George's or my cousin's place.
Oh, shit. Nah. Why not George's? George's was talking about you know that?
Mine too.
We're going to keep it on the wrap. All right. Flatbush Mall. Tell me something about Flatbush Mall.
Kings or downtown Brooklyn, Flatbush.
Flatbush Mall by Lenox Road in Flatbush. Y'all remember that? All right, let's go to the next one. Don't worry about it. Let's go to the next one. Yeah. Biltmore Ballroom.
Of course.
Something about Biltmore Ballroom.
Trinity Hall, Africa House.
Now tell me something about one of them. Tell me next. I want to hear from each one of y'all. Tell me something about a Flatbush club that y'all went to before success, or even when y'all had the success, and how the vibe was and how the culture was.
Besides Empire Rolling Rink?
Huh?
Besides Empire Rolling Rink?
The Empire's on the borderline. Whatever you feel good to talk about.
I'll give you one. Not even. I give you a scenario of Flatbush clubs. First of all, Flatbush clubs, for me, when I went partying in Flatbush, it was more so dance hall. And the one thing I remember about dance hall clubs in Flatbush, especially on Utica, they probably change owners every 4 months. Once they get torn up, then they change. I remember on Utica, they used to have...
You talking about Club Legend? Yeah. Everybody get killed that they change the name.
Exactly. Exactly. So illusions, every name change about every 4 months. But yeah, Flatbush clubs, that Biltmore, Tilden Ballroom, Church Ave. I got a dope picture of this dude sitting outside of Biltmore Ballroom with a sugar cane sitting on a crate that I
Woo.
keep in the crib. Beautiful picture, man. Just remind me of Flatbush all day. There used to be a record shop right next to there too as well.
Where on Flatbush? Where?
Hold on, what you say, babe? See, my lady, I've been with my lady for 25 years, and I'm talking Flatbush, and she from Flatbush, and she just hit me with the arc.
Oh yeah, the Ark.
What
The Ark is definitely.
what I can tell you about the arc? She hitting me up with the arc. Damn, we performed for Ralph McDaniel's video music box for the arc so many times. I remember a good story I tell you about the arc.
Ark,
Well,
man,
not a
tell her,
good
tell her.
story, but a story nonetheless. So the day before we go to the Ark, we had another show in Pennsylvania. Light driving the car, and
Yo,
and he
niggas start
crashes the
laughing
car,
already. Niggas laughing
and
already.
he crashes the car.
Come
Who's
on,
riding
boy.
with us?
Niggas is
Who's
dropping
riding with us?
names already.
Who's riding with us?
I was in the
So
other car.
It
lights
was
on.
we. It started out as we. It's remember we. Is we was going down together. You know what I mean?
So so so
I said it was a weed thing.
so this cat, I'm in the front seat, and he trying to give me that, stay awake so I could stay awake, but you driving. So I fell asleep. I wake up and we flipping over. Boom, 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 boom. We went Wendy Williams, ex-husband, Kevin. He was our road manager at the time.
Whoa. Wow, I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
So
No, he was
eh,
a driver at the time.
so
He
yeah.
ain't rob y'all? He ain't rob y'all?
Nah, we didn't get that far. We didn't get that
He
far.
got robbed.
But
He didn't get in the story yet, but it happened.
but anyway, so we come out of that accident, we go to the hospital, we wind up getting on a plane, on one of them propeller planes to get back to Brooklyn on a propeller plane so that way we can catch the show on Easter for Video Music Box. So when we performed at the Arc
I
for
remember
Video
that.
Music Box,
I remember that.
I was performing with a patch. I had a patch over my eye because literally when we crashed, the glass shattered in the front seat and went into my eyes. So if you ever see that tape and you see it, I have glass in my eye at that time, a big ugly situation. But that's what I
Damn,
remember
like
from
you
the
fuck up
arc.
the man, son, like you fuck up the man,
You
son.
notice, me notice. I don't know, nobody don't realize that why the Ross, the artist, I drive.
Trying to save money,
Hold on,
trying not to
Popeye.
rent that limo.
But what
Me name manager.
for?
Me name manager. Me name manager. Me not for perform too.
Yes, you know.
That's
So what may I
Yo, what
drive
up, the
for?
rough?
Virgin.
Yo, I drive.
You see when you come fresh from Jamaica, you say them do you?
I'm not treating like a
Driver.
duppy, man.
Yeah,
I'm not
hard
treating like
worker,
a
man.
Driver.
Come, you don't know no better.
you think
Driver.
I like that. I like that. I like that. So yo, hold up, man. So yo, I know I'm bouncing around. So okay, boom. So y'all at the high school. We talked about Flatbush. Cool. Y'all was doing on the Lyricist Lounge. Shout out to Ant and Danny. Those are my peoples too. Lyricist Lounge founders. You know what I'm saying?
brothers,
Yes, sir.
I used to be around on them spots at those days with the Lyricist Lounge days, at little loft spots and you know what I'm saying, and all type of stuff. And I used to run around with the bushwhackers. So tell the people the experience of we're gonna get to there. We're gonna get there. Let's go first. We're gonna get there.
Word.
Tell the people the experience of going to the Lyricist Lounge back in the day. That was one of the first real open mic events. Correct. One of the real ones, like because nowadays everybody got an open mic event, but nothing comes out of it. They just want your money. Lyricist Lounge was you really could go there and you could get a deal. You could get something after you leave there.
Yeah,
so, tell the people their experience.
You know what people don't remember? People don't remember that your brother used to play drums at Lyricist Lounge, and while we were rapping, he was playing the drums, and nobody even knew he could rap yet.
Who?
Most Def.
Most Diggin'?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yasin Bey was playing the drums at Lyricist Lounge, and we didn't even know he could rap.
I ain't know that one. See, you taught me something. Drop a gem on him.
That's how we first met him.
Yep.
And then,
we need him up here too. You're another Flatbush legend too. Flatbush your best style. Continue, brother.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What was dope about the Lyricist Lounge is the eclectic group of people that came around because of the way it started. Like I said before, because it started in West Fourth, we needed a place to go once it, weather situation. So we wound up going to Grant. I think it was Grant Street. And from Grant Street, they
Armory
would just, yeah, there you go.
in the loft upstairs.
Right,
Yeah, right.
right,
That was one of
right.
the first set of shows. I remember that.
Yep. They used to just throw on records and we just started rhyming and cats like Adolf the Assassin, I remember. I mean,
Freddy Krueger.
mop tops,
The Dancers, Prancer, Stretch.
Jazz
Yep.
Print, yep, all them cats.
All of them.
Used to be in there and we was just rocking, pass the mic,
Mm.
and go, yo. So it was the original what hip hop is supposed to be to me. You know what I mean? What it's supposed to
Was
be,
hip
what
hop. It
cats
was
just
hip
got on the
hop. That
mic
was real hip
and
hop
made
back
it
then.
happen.
That was real hip
Yeah.
hop. That was the time. I remember going to the Muse and all them type of events. Those
Wet.
were the time
Yo,
when you
I would be
felt hip hop.
remiss.
You
I
felt
would
hip
be
hop.
remiss. Yeah, absolutely. I gotta mention also at the Lyricist Lounge, Cellar Dwellers.
Oh,
Cellar
definitely another
Dwellers. Those
Flatbush
were
group.
some dudes. Yeah,
Another
those
Flatbush group. My man
they used
Ugg,
to rock.
Star Child.
Yeah,
I mean, that's my people.
absolutely.
Matter of fact,
Yes,
I'll live right
yes.
up the block for me to be exact. I'll live up the block.
You're gonna say he's right there. Matter of fact, come over here.
So how did y'all get signed and who did y'all get signed to?
Ooh.
We got signed to Warner Reprise, Warner Brothers. Initially, it was a little bit of a bidding situation between Warner,
So
what was soon to become So Def,
and
and Capitol Records, and Cold Chillin' initially. Cold Chillin' because Fly Tie actually lived in Flatbush.
Yep.
I don't know if you recall, but yeah, he lived in. I think.
Fly Tie, wait, hold up. Did Fly Tie pass away?
No.
Okay, that's the wrong
No.
person. Okay, continue. I'm good.
Yeah.
He lives on Dorchester, right? Dorchester or Beverly?
There you go. Dorchester. He lived in that area
Marlboro.
of Flatbush where it was just beautiful over there in that little area. But if you went this way or that way, it wasn't. That's what
It's called Dickens Park. It's called Dickens Park. That's the wrong block. You wasn't.
Nigga said if you went this way or that way, it wasn't nice. But if you stay right here, you was
You
good.
stay right here, it's beautiful. That's where Flat Tie used to live. But that's how we got signed. We had a little bit of bidding war. I tell you this, can't always say the most money is not always the best move.
That's true. That's true. I hope a lot of brothers can hear that.
The
More money
most
means more
money,
problems.
bang. So we wound up going with Warner Brothers because obviously bigger company, they dishing out the most money. And I remember when we went to audition for like companies like So Def, at the time we were running around with Jermaine, and Skate was auditioning to be to be signed
You talking about no ugly
to
escape
So
bitches?
Def. It's,
And the brat.
that's what Biggie said. That's what Biggie said.
I
That's
said
not
it
what
too.
I
I'm ugly escape
said.
bitches.
Yeah, but,
But
look now, everybody trying to get a candy.
My girl is walking. I can't say that no more.
but
Nothing. I don't know nothing.
Continue, brother.
It's all right. It's all right. No problems.
so we wound up going with Warner Brothers. With
Okay.
that being said, and we released our first joint, Ambush, and then second joint, Gravity.
All right, but let's go back to Ambush. Y'all released your first record, your first single. Y'all got signed, like you said, the bidding war between JD and other companies. So so when y'all was bidding with JD, y'all went to Atlanta also to chill out and vibe with him to see how it was gonna go.
Yeah, we went to Atlanta.
We
we went
to
to
Atlanta.
his
Even
crib.
when we recorded Ambush, he still did some tracks on the on our album. So we were able to go out there for at least about 2 weeks or so and stayed at his stayed with him and recorded.
Okay. So
now hold on. Remember though, there's one thing that we left out.
what's up?
Even though we didn't sign to So Def as a label, they were still managing us.
Right.
Managed by Entertainment Resources, which was Jermaine Dupri, Michael Malden. Also had the Brat,
Okay.
Arrested Development, Mark Batson, who's now producing for Dre. Cavassier, which the Dunkin' Donuts thing. Alicia Keys, he was managing Alicia Keys also.
Damn, you had a heavy roster. They had a heavy roster.
Yeah, she was like 16 at the time. But Yeah, it was a round table of the greats. It was like just like Jermaine did the show last week, and he had Bruno Mars and
Okay, I remember that.
Anderson Paak and Usher were in the video, and he was talking about, yeah, I could have signed them, and it's like, yeah, you had the opportunity to sign us, but you didn't. But we
You
still here
did.
rocking. But it's cool. Jermaine is like the ultimate big brother who made sure that we knew certain things. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna stop talking, but I'm gonna give you one more piece. Before 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 we actually signed and started the group, I was an intern at record labels. So one of the labels was Rough House.
Rough House. I remember Rough House. They had a couple of groups from Mount Vernon or something like
At the time, they had Criss Cross, Cypress Hill, and Tim Dog.
that. Tim Dog. Then they wanted to get at somebody. I forgot the person he was getting at. Yeah. Fuck Compton.
Michelle A. and a couple of others.
Yeah.
Right.
So the thing is, though, and this is some people disagree with the story, but I remember because I was a little intern. I was just a Muslim kid that was an intern.
Man, tell it, man. Tell the story, man. Ain't nobody gonna do you nothing.
I didn't think so. I didn't think that was good. So I was there the day that Jermaine got the first Criss Cross royalty check.
Tell us about it. Tell us about it.
It was big. It was the biggest shit I ever seen in my life.
Did the midget grow? Did he grow taller, or
Yes.
he got googly almost?
He was the same height as me, maybe a little bit shorter, but suddenly he just looked like he's about 8 feet tall. He was Shaq. You know what I'm saying? He dunked balls all of a sudden. It was like, oh snap! Why the man get so tall? But
Okay.
he wasn't my man. I was just an intern. But we got cool because of the height and we both had braids in our hair. You know what I'm saying? So that's
no doubt. That's what's up. So when y'all got signed now, when y'all got signed, like that's what I wanted to get to. When y'all got signed, right, and y'all had to come back to Flatbush. Y'all got this deal. Y'all grinding. Y'all doing what y'all got to do to get a deal. Now you got this deal, and y'all come back to the hood, back around the way, the 40s and 50s, Avenue D side, Ocean side. Now, what's the plans now? Y'all got to make a video. I remember one of y'all first video was in 40th Park on 40th and Forster. Right? That was your first video, right?
No, it wasn't. But it was.
Okay.
And I want to touch on something light. I'm just touch on something real quick because it's important to notice.
Please.
Our first video was actually Swing It. Right? And when we did Swing It, we went all the way out to I think we lost Mr. Man, but we'll have to get him back in.
Yeah.
But we did Swing It all the way on the West Coast with this with this video producer. They wanted us to go there because it was the best place to do it, and so on. And we did the video. It was just us. We wasn't really representing where we were from, though the name of the group was the Bush Babies.
Right.
We brought it to Ralph McDaniels, and Ralph, played our record, Swing It, played it, but whatever, didn't really pay it no mind. We read up and got to and we made We Run Things, and we shot that in 40th Street Park. The point I want to make about that is it took us a minute to figure out to represent where you from, not just in your name, but in your visuals, in your everything. Because that record, when we did We Run Things, and we did that in 40th Park, I don't even remember advertising saying we was gonna be in 40th Park or whatever.
Y'all didn't.
We just
y'all didn't. I heard y'all was in there.
It just everybody, the whole hood came out to represent for us, and it was special because that's where we really found ourselves from there, or where we needed to grow as a group. When we was a Swing It, we was just doing what we thought needed to be done to blow up. But when we did We Run Things, we did it from us, from our heart, from what we thought was dope, and it turned out to be the one that Ralph, when we went back to Video Music Box and we gave him that joint, he was like, "Oh, I see y'all read up. Y'all did what y'all needed to do." And that's when he started to bring us to the arc.
Y'all manifest y'all game plan and read.
Yeah, let me jump in too and give you a little detail to that, because I think also too, Lee, if you remember, like for us, it was a money thing too, brethren. Like that's what Lee was pointing to earlier. That's why he said, "Yo, sometimes the bigger deal or the bigger money is not always the best situation," because they we probably spent twice as much on that first video than we did on the second. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
And we was, you know, like how like a sports player go out and they talk about he got this big contract, he got the biggest contract or whatever. For us, you know, we saw that budget and we knew we needed money to make this happen, so we went for the bigger number.
Okay.
And that's all they was doing. They was pushing money.
Right.
And
It's
so
a
they
money
went to
game.
the
It's a money game.
so
It's a money
so
game.
they went to the bigger director at the time, Michael Lucero, rest his soul, but he had a bigger resume out on the West Coast. But like Lee said, we got out there, yo, that dude was super cool, man. He was carving shit out of wood for us. He was doing all type of shit. But you know what I mean? Yeah, but I mean the whole thing was like Lee said, it didn't, what did it have to do with us? You see what I'm saying?
I feel you saying that.
So right, so it was more so
Right.
young youths get a big budget. Me get a young youth $500,000. You ain't trying to hear what he trying to do. You trying to make sure that the money is. These young guys can't tell us how to spend this money until we started pushing back, and then
Yep.
we realized. So yeah, we self our teeth some invoice and thing, and yeah, we enough things we had to do to the label to let them understand.
So
Like,
y'all was batting shit up.
Yeah.
So I mean, other words, y'all
Exactly.
didn't take.
well, let me just finish. What
Mm-hmm.
point I'm making is when we came in doing business, thinking like, okay, you know, trying to learn the business, but not understanding that they wasn't really trying to guide and teach. It was a situation where, you know, they were just moving money around and they didn't understand us. They were just trying to move money around and move
Right. It's a money
and
thing.
move product around. You know what I'm saying? They
Yep.
didn't take the time to look and have no
Basically, yeah.
insight.
So basically, like where brothers be complaining about the music game now, like they sign brothers and try to fuck niggas careers up and make niggas old money. So y'all was a little bit more smarter to understand that at the time. Even though y'all was young, they played with y'all, but y'all was like, wait, hold up. Let's regroup. Let's take this shit over. Let's go get our
Right.
let's go get our shit right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what the
Right.
plan was.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So even with that being said, shout out to Hakeem Green, DJ Dice.
Yeah.
Who else? I see Rusty Jooks in here. Matter of fact, Mr. Man, what's up? You coming back up in here?
Yeah. Let's get him back in.
Get back up in here, Mr. Man. You back in. I just invited.
There we go. There we go.
Okay, Mr. Man. What happened, Mr. Man? You ain't pay your phone bill?
Not to go take a shower right quick.
Oh shit, but hold on fresh.
Hold up fresh.
My lord. Hold on fresh. So now go back to the 40th Park. I gotta make sure I'm talking about 40th Park. I'm glad y'all said that. It wasn't no advertisement. It wasn't like Instagram was alive. And y'all put something together and mad people from the hood came out. Little Sean, Ralph McDaniel, all the type of people was in the building. And I remember as a young nigga in the hood, being in Vanderveer, being in the back block. And I'm hearing like, yo, the Bush Baby nigga shooting a video. By the time I got there, the shit was over. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, they sure they shot a video here. Next year I see on video, I'm like, oh shit, these niggas did their thing. That's what's up. But even with that being said, right, boom, we talk about the music now. So y'all saying, y'all came in the game, y'all did the shorty, we run things inside of 40th Park. Which was one of y'all biggest songs that y'all had? I know I'm jumping a little bit, but which one of y'all biggest songs that y'all had in y'all career that made y'all move from state to state? Which was the song to make y'all move from state to state?
I'd say it was We Run Things, because when that came out, yeah, We Run Things. When that came out, when we got added to Hot 97 and it became that normal rotation on Hot 97, that's what just kind of made it spread and kept us going. Remember, we had 3 records that really got us moving. We Run Things was the first record that got us moving, but we followed up with the joint with Mos Def, the Love Song. And the Love Song, it was produced by Paz from De La Soul.
So
that got us moving.
You doing my interview for me, nigga. You doing my interview for me.
That got us moving. Then once we released that, right after that, we jumped on to Remember We with Salam Remy, who had just came out of the whole Fugees situation.
Okay,
so
hold
Salam,
on, you fast, motherfucker. You like How did y'all, okay, like you just said, you went from 40th Park. Y'all got this deal. y'all shot a video, y'all didn't like it, you had to go to Ralph McDaniel, negotiate a new deal, get a new video. Now, how y'all went from there, fucking with De La, Salam Remy? You already told me how you fucking messed with Mos Def. So how everybody, and now also I heard y'all was fucking with Native Tongues. So how all of that correspond into one after the 40th video? How did that all happen?
I tell you one person's name, and then we could expand on that. Ian Alexander. Ian Alexander. He's in the We Run Things video as well, but Ian Alexander became the new A&R at Warner Brothers, and that's when everything unfolded. I could say if it wasn't for him and another gentleman by the name of Bart Phillips, a lot of that wouldn't have happened, because Ian Alexander believed in us, and he started bringing us to those people. He started hyping it. He started saying things like, yo, I got this new group I'm working with. Ian Alexander was the 5'6" guy who talked like he was 8 foot tall. And he used to run. He was also the dude that used to run the tunnel with Jessica.
Okay.
So
all right. That's a
he
white,
was
that's a
that
white girl
person.
He was.
Right.
He was.
Stress Entertainment.
Him and Chris Lighty was like best friends
Right.
too. They were roommates and stuff.
Rest in
y'all
peace.
niggas, hold on, stop. Y'all niggas calling out names, and the people that's listening right now, do y'all hear these names that they calling out? Chris Lighty, De La Soul, Mos Def, Shalom Remy. Like, these are pioneers and founders and solid dudes that's in the hip hop game that believed in y'all in the beginning of their careers, not even in the top of their careers, more like in the middle, coming in, and they believed in y'all niggas. That's big, my nigga. That was big.
Yeah.
Forever humbled on that. And
I see that. Y'all very humble.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm excited.
And
I'm listening. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Do you know?
You know, too, brethren, it's a craft thing, you know, because you know, hype is hype, but craft is craft. You know what I mean?
Ooh, I like that. Say that again. Say that again. Like, say that again.
You know, yeah. Hype is hype. Hype is hype. You know, but we dealing with the craft. You know, so when you deal with people that really study the craft, or you see how Mr. Man is mentioning most on the drums, and you know what I'm saying, and like, you know, Chris and Ian come from these as brethrens that were running with ideas and trying to make it happen before a lot of the big money came. So we all from that cloth. Yeah, we all from that cloth, and it's about the craft, you know, first. Of course, everybody, the people see the hype still. The hype is still there, but, you know, it's the craft first. Still.
Let me add to that, too. The same way we came with the hip-hop and the reggae influence, the whole idea, it in our name being the Bush Babies, the whole idea was to represent Flatbush, to big up Flatbush, to get Flatbush out there. But here's something that we learned. In order to meet all of those people, we had to come out of Flatbush.
That's a fact.
But still represent it.
That's a fact.
And
we honor y'all for that. Continue.
You know what I'm saying? And still represent it. So that was the main thing for anybody who's listening to learn. Represent where you from, but then you have to take that to where everybody else is, and show them what it is to be from wherever you from. You know what I mean?
And really, and that's what We Are Flatbush is about. That's what We Are Flatbush is about. That we basically, when we put this together, me and my team, me and my brothers, you know what I'm saying, not me run this whole show, it's just me and my team. You know what I mean? I might be the face. But when we put this together, we started to realize, because we travel also. We realized that Flatbush is everywhere. We realized that our culture, our vibe, the way we move, the way we think, the way we talk is everywhere. That means that one of us took this somewhere, and we was able to adapt. Like y'all in Florida or something, and you guaranteed to find a place or be at a place that make you feel like you at home. You could be it make you feel like you at home. If it has something to do with the food, the people, the clothes, the music, it still makes you feel like, yo, I feel like I'm in Flatbush right now. I just feel like I'm in Flatbush right now. You know what I'm saying? Because the people know when they come to, like, especially reggae entertainment, like you from Jamaica, you say you come from Jamaica, and when people land, especially Jamaica, we had Bounty talk about it one day. He said the best place he'd like to come is Brooklyn. You know what I mean? To perform, especially as a reggae artist. You know what I'm saying? Now, you got hip-hop niggas that come out of the bush, like he just said, Mr. Lee just said, in order to meet these people, you have to step out of Flatbush. You know what I'm saying? So niggas is being themselves and keeping it real, keeping it thorough for the bush, but they have to go outside, meet these people, show them what we about, and then give them a little bit of what they want, but we're going to give you what we want. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's what Mos Def did. That's what y'all did. That's what Bushwhackers did. That's what Cellar Dwellers did. That's what Special Ed did. That's what Chubb Rock did. That's what Casanova did. That's what Red Cafe did.
Fushniggins.
Fushniggin, Chip Full, what up? You know what I'm saying? So that's why we started this platform. Because we know Flatbush is everywhere. And people might say, what you mean? Flatbush is everywhere, baby boy.
Anywhere you go.
Everywhere.
On the planet.
Yep.
On the planet.
America and on the planet.
There
you go.
So now, with that being said, we talking about Flatbush. I know I'm going to bounce back now. What sounds, reggae sounds, that y'all like coming out of Flatbush?
Between Addy.
Oh,
man, you say it first. Man, Lee, and Light. Man, talk first.
Between Addies and there's so many.
Hey, man, which one you like the most?
The first name I could think of right now, because it's a little bit addled, I'm going to have to say Addies until I think of the rest. I'm going to come back.
All right, so Light, give me one. Give me one.
I mean, yo, him done take the thunder because Addies was my sound when I reached. Hold on, because before we go no further, you mentioned Biltmore earlier. Before I met these brothers, the first thing I did was go dance at Biltmore, and right around the corner they had a tailor, and I have my linen suit and everything. Like they don't even know, like they don't even really know. There was a green joint, and you see anyhow, look at, you see anyhow I didn't meet them. Like it could have been straight dance hall. It could any which way it could have went. Any which way it could have went. And right, we was vexed because we was saying like while we was doing the Bush Baby records, we wanted to pump out dancehall records too, and they wouldn't let. They had us tied up. But Biltmore Ballroom, Addies, linen suit, green with the little mesh.
Don't say linen suit. Say crush linen.
With the mesh. No, mine never crushed them time. They're straight. Could have cut bread. Straight and sharp. Straight and sharp.
Yo, Lee, tell me what's one of your biggest sounds coming out of Flatbush.
The sounds I used to listen to, Black Cat, Bodyguard. Those were my two. Of course, Stone Love being the
Stone Love.
Yeah.
Black
White Son.
But you know what? Guess what? Tomorrow, if y'all tap in tomorrow, I got Tip Top and Tony Mataran going live tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? For the big bashment tomorrow. So I'm just letting it out right now. We're gonna let the people know tomorrow. But tomorrow I got Tip Top and Tony Mataran. We talking about all the clashes. We talking about all the dances. So we're gonna do this again tomorrow. So hold on, let's get back to the Bush Baby. Let's get back to the Bush Baby. Now, Bush Baby. As a hip-hop group coming out of Flatbush, and I know y'all toured around the world and been around a lot of places and all that stuff. Who was your, not to say, okay, who was your influence, number one, coming out of Flatbush, or who was the people that you vibe with the most coming out of Flatbush as music artists?
I'd say for me, now, it's
back then.
Okay, I'd say back then I was vibing with who did I really from Lyricist Lounge, Cellar Dwellers, man. Cellar Dwellers was my dudes, man. I felt they whole vibe. I used to love them. Still do.
Nigga, crazy with that shit.
He was him that who else in Flatbush? Chubb Rock always. Okay. Chubb Rock was dope. And you know what? I have to say this. I have to say Special Ed, yo. I have to say Ed,
man,
yo.
Lee, you know you're Lee. I'm going to get back to you on the Special Ed one, but
I have to. Because Ed was the first person I saw on Video Music Box that I was like, oh, shit, he from Flatbush. Oh, shit, he on the steps of the library. I know that place.
That came out when he was 17, but he recorded those when he was 15, 16.
I went to high school with Ed. We was in Tilden together.
Boom. So he was Buster too.
He was the one that made me say, wow.
Buster probably was high by the time I got there. So, Light, Who you was cool with in the industry as far as Flatbush and all that?
I mean, all of the names he just said, really, but I mean, Chip was the first influence for me, especially coming from Jamaica, because the song, you know what I mean? The
Ring the alarm.
with the ring the alarm sample, like my ears. I'm coming from Jamaica, right? So my ears is picking up on them kind of things that's in hip hop, and so like you mentioned earlier, KRS-One, right? So that was one of my earliest. When I heard "Bridges Over," to me it sound like Super Cat. See booms there. Boom,
Yo,
boom, 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 boom. It's
that's
the
true.
same bass line, right? So I pick up on those things, and that's what I keyed in on. So a man like Chip, that went before us, and was dropping a tune like that. It told me I could do it. You know what I mean? It
Okay.
gave us permission to do our thing.
Listen, man. I have to go back to special ed. I'm sorry.
You going back to special ed?
I'm your idol. The highest title, numero uno. I'm not a Puerto Rican, but I speak it so that
you know
and understand I got the gift of speech. Lesson. So listen to the lesson. Come on.
Whoa!
Sense to a form of a poem.
Between
with
Ed
that
and Chip.
wait, no, hold on. I know you're gonna sing it, but with that being said, I asked you who you like and who you vibe with. Who did y'all didn't vibe with back in the day? We're gonna talk gritty now. I mean, I'll be cooking up the block. Who you didn't vibe with?
I'll block it. It was like the Bush baby niggas.
Cause I tell you, I spoke to y'all. So we gonna funky. We gonna keep it funky. So who y'all didn't really fuck with? Let's keep it.
Let's start it like this, because you see. Let me start that off. Because I noticed that it's like them true name, it's them true name Uno. And Bush baby niggas and them word there. But then but let me show you something. But it's not that. They can and might have some tension or feelings here and there. But then me never said that, because I was always confused by it. Me no know. I was like, do I get a pass because I'm coming from Jamaica? So that as a Jamaican too. He don't know. Let's leave him alone. Right. Because I never hear none of this.
Okay.
Back in them days, I was never approached in any type of none of it. Me hear it after the fact.
On my side, though, they got a nigga
see?
Right, son.
What man said? What man said?
They got that nigga Mr. Man right there, son. Get him right there. Right
I'm gonna tell you my story. Cause I told Lee when
tell
we
your
had this
story.
conversation. I'm gonna tell you my story, right? Real quick. Real quick. I know y'all can remember this. New Jersey Drive soundtrack. The Palladium.
Yes.
Okay, now.
Ooh,
I was running with Bushwhackers. Right? Those are my niggas. Ride or die. Rest in peace to BD Bug. Shout out to Fish B1, Grave Digger, Light, Fuji, what up? I just bought my car around that time, my 88 Maxima. And I remember going to the junction. Niggas like, yo, son, we going to Manhattan. Boom, boom, it's a party. New Jersey Drive. Boom, we going up in there. I'm like, cool, fuck it. Just roll out. Flew up there. Remember, it's a pool hall right next to the Palladium. I'm standing there. Because we trying to get in. You know what I'm saying? Boom, we trying to get in. We waiting for our links. It ain't coming through.
Right.
I'm standing there like that. Who we see coming up the block walking? Them motherfucking Bush baby niggas.
Right. Them short dudes.
them short Bush baby niggas. From the other side. They walk straight in. I was like, what the fuck? I'm telling you real shit. I'm like, yo, we gonna wait for these niggas to come out. We gonna fuck these niggas up. Just like that, because y'all went in and we outside. Outside for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I'm like, yo, wait a minute. I'm going the fuck home, man. I feel embarrassed right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the reason I say that is that we were so young and niggas was just doing dumb shit like, oh, they got in the party before us. We gonna fuck them niggas up when we come out the party. No reason.
Even though it didn't happen, but
No, it didn't happen. That's a fact. It did not happen. But I'm saying that this is the mind state that we was on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the reason I told Lee this conversation, I'm not being mixy. I'm just saying, we talking history. We talking facts that happened.
Of course.
And niggas is in the streets. You know what I'm saying? So when y'all was doing y'all thing, niggas was like, damn, they don't sound street. So that was like, niggas always wanted to try niggas for things like that.
You know what else?
Forgive your brethren. Me forgive your brethren.
You
It's
know what
all
else?
right.
You know what else?
No, me not feel no way. Me not feel no way.
I'm gonna tell you another one. Another one.
Yeah, family.
I like this guy
Yeah,
right there, yo.
family vibes,
Let me
man.
forgive your mind.
The
Let me
bush,
forgive your
the
mind.
bushwhack
What's
was
that?
show with
Fucking
DJ
homeboy
Enough.
skin you up. What's that?
There was a show with DJ Enough at Prospect Park. Do you remember that?
Which one? Show where at?
Prospect Park
I don't think I was there then.
with DJ Enough.
I don't think I was there. Enough is my man too, so I was in there.
And what happened was they were supposed to perform,
Okay.
and we just happened to roll up. We just happened to just come on and see what's going on. And Enough saw us across the crowd. Yo, y'all niggas here? And he waved the record like, yo, you want to perform?
And that went on.
Whatever. Yeah, get on stage. And you know what happened?
Oh, that was one of my favorite shows.
Yo,
That was one of my favorite shows right there.
Yo,
Murder.
we killed Prospect Park that day, but the crowd left after we was done. So how you think the Bushwhackers felt after that?
Oh, they felt bad. I mean, these are my niggas.
Yo,
They went.
I will tell you this.
You know, just being real.
I tell you this.
They wanted to kill us. Listen, I love them.
Yeah.
Kill us after that.
We had, listen, man, don't get me wrong, man. We was some ignorant little niggas back then. God bless the day. We was real ignorant, like.
It's so good. It's so good.
Real ignorant. Drinking 40s on Glenwood and Flatbush all night long with Guinness Stout mix and smoking weed. Come on, man. You know what that shit cheating.
I've been in basement parties, but I was in basement parties with them, man. They're chilling before too. Like, it's just a vibes, man. You know what it remind me of, Bridget? It remind me of, for me, it remind me of Kingston. So when you go to Jamaica, if you're in the country, if you anywhere else in Jamaica, different than Kingston. Why? Because Kingston crowded.
Right.
So New York is a place that's crowded. So people have to push and shove and, you know what I mean? Forget
Shout
there.
out Chip Full. Chip Full in the building too now. Everybody
Chip up
here tonight. Shout out Chip.
Chip up.
Yo, we're gonna keep it going. We're gonna keep it going because we got a lot of information to go with. So which was y'all biggest cities y'all performed in? Which one of the cities that y'all performed in? I just heard Lee that said that's one of his best performances in Prospect Park. So as a collective, which city y'all went to that y'all say, yeah, black, we mash up the place?
It would have
Germany.
Yeah, I was gonna say Germany. Yeah.
All right.
Germany.
That was your experience. Lee, what's yours?
Yeah.
Berlin every time.
Okay.
Berlin every time is murderation.
Damn.
Switzerland was nice.
Switzerland
was nice. There's a couple spots all over that was nice, man. Cali, going out to Cali and performing is always a good vibe. Had some good experiences there. But really, it's nothing like being in Prospect. I mean, come on, we used to ride big wheels in Prospect Park. To get out there and see a sea full of people and perform in that same space, you know, is a beautiful thing.
Because we had a lot of shows that were like that, you know, especially when the radio station would do certain shows, like, you know, the place sell off, you know what I mean? So it's like nothing but heads and people. But to Lee's point, like, yo, Prospect Park, come on, that's
home.
Different vibe. It's a different vibe.
That's a different vibe. You're right.
Yeah,
Prospect Park in the Arc.
Yeah. That's
Park in the Arc. So with that being said,
exactly.
I said all about the cities that y'all killed.
and parade grounds.
All right. Now I'm gonna ask you another question. I know my man is over there with his girl, but we asking you a question from back in the days. I don't know if you want to talk. Which city had the best shorties? The best jump offs? Come on, talk, brothers. Be talking.
That's always going to be Atlanta.
Come on, which city had the night jump out when it got choice? But you got to think.
It got to be Atlanta. Back then, it got to be Atlanta.
Okay. Come on, Lee. Lee, I want to hear Lee talk because he over there that kind of duck his head. I want to hear you talk, bro.
Well, I tell you, Atlanta was nice. Atlanta had a lot of nice people there who greeted us kindly. Yo, I'm gonna tell you, man.
In Atlanta, Cali and Atlanta.
That's what it is. They treated us very nice and kindly and welcomed us.
Atlanta was very welcoming.
Shit, this nigga making me laugh.
I tell you right now.
What kind of setup thing you there, Pat Bridger? What kind of setup thing?
You talk about back in the days,
laughing. Huh? I said even strippers laughing.
All I mean, listen, I lived in Atlanta for 10 years too, so I know how them girls throw it back. They be twerking, they be doing all that shit. I'll be like, hey, baby, do the thing.
I don't know nothing.
So now, also now, tell me something about the influences that the Bush baby, that like you know how brothers be going to places like Japan and Germany and all them places, and when y'all go to places like, you ever went some places somebody got your tattoo on their back or they got something of y'all, you're like, damn, a fan actually did this and put a tattoo or have a shirt, like, you know, what kind of experience you ever went through like that? You ever went through something like that?
Seeing that there are many women around the world that have our logo tattooed on different parts of their body. That's all. That's all.
That's it.
That's all. That's all.
That's it.
I mean, and you know, people keep things. You know, I would say too, people keep things that you would have never thought. You know what I'm saying? Like they keep like something you gave them, or you know, like I can't think of anything.
Gave somebody a shirt in Germany in 1992 when we went out there last year. She showed you the same shirt.
Especially like the bandanas we used to have, them little bandanas we used to have. You know what I'm saying? Like people would come back and them joints be looking like, yo, man, should I even touch that, Reggie? You wash that or what? And you want me to come sign? And you want me to sign it like? And it looked like he had it for years, wearing it every day.
Yo, we went to Berlin and we signed our names in the backstage area at a performance.
Okay.
And we came back like 15 years later and performed in Berlin again.
And you see your name?
We saw the same signature and they had a sign right next to it again.
So you sound like them niggas that when they get locked up and send your book and you write your name, you gonna come back and see it. Nigga.
You come back and see it.
Yeah. Oh, you back.
You back, nigga. That's why I never write my name ever again. When nigga said you write your name and send your book and you will come back and
Go
see
back.
Come back and see it.
I came back and see my name 1,000 times.
You see
Never
that?
wrote my shit ever
You see
again.
that?
Fuck all of that.